Now, what about Topuria and Islam? Could that fight happen?
Yep, that can happen too.
I'd like to see that fight.
I think everybody wants to see that fight, including Topuria and Islam. So,
you know, there's the John Jones and the Alex Bahia fight. Everyone keeps talking about that being the biggest fight. I heard Joe Rogan talking about it's the biggest fight you could possibly make. But then there's also people that say the Ilia Topuria and the Islam fight is the biggest fight you can make.
I think right now, I think Topuria Islam can be biggest fight, not John Jones and Pereira.
Still a big fight, but not at the level.
It's still big fight, but not on that level.
No, not on that level.
I don't think it's same level.
Well, I think, in my opinion, it favors us even more so, you know, because now Ilia, he's 5'6", right? 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
So he's definitely, you know, he's going to be strong as a fire plug for darn sure. But, you know, putting on that extra weight, I don't know. His speed isn't going to be there. The power will be.
Right before UFC 322, Dana White surprised everyone with some big news. Islam Makhachev is set to take on Ilia Topuria. This matchup caught fans off guard. On one side, you have Makhachev's commanding presence in the lightweight division. And on the other, Topuria's explosive ascent from featherweight. It's a showdown that promises intensity. The announcement immediately sent the MMA community into a frenzy, with debates heating up over who might come out on top.
185, I'm gonna be fit, you know. I feel it's gonna be hard, you know. It's not gonna be my weight.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's gonna be too big.
As Dana White spoke about Islam and Ilia, it was clear he wasn't just putting on a show for the cameras. He reflected on how events unfolded, much like Khabib's father once envisioned Islam, steadily rising to dominate the division with that signature calm authority. It was one of those rare moments that make you step back and see the story come full circle.
To do it anymore, and his dad had this plan where Khabib would win, be dominant, and then he would step down and Islam would slide in. And it actually played out exactly the way his dad said it would, which never happened, ever. Right? You go to any gym in the world, they'll tell you, this guy's going to be the world champion. Not only did his dad say that his son would be, he said that Islam would be too.
Right.
And he was absolutely.
Conversation then turned to Ilia Topuria. Dana painted a picture that made it obvious Topuria has truly earned his place. Initially, Dana saw him as just another flashy fighter. But over time, he's come to recognize how precise and threatening Ilia really is. His admiration was evident, especially when he highlighted the crisp, polished nature of Topuria's striking.
Completely, yeah. How often does that happen?
Right.
Not usually.
We roll into New York on Saturday, and Islam is actually moving up a weight class to win another belt in another weight division.
And that could happen.
It could happen.
With Jack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about Topuria and Islam? Could that fight happen?
Yep. That can happen too.
I'd like to see that fight.
I think everybody wants to see that fight, including Topuria and Islam. So,
he's a different bird, that Topuria, huh?
Yeah.
I thought he was just cocky at the beginning. But he's the real deal.
He really is.
Man, those hands are like, he's almost like a regular. It's like almost a real fighter, you know, like a prize fighter.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of the UFC guys, I mean, McGregor was a good boxer, but this guy is like razor sharp.
Khabib Nurmagomedov also weighed in on the Islam versus Ilia matchup. While many hype fights like John Jones versus Pereira, Khabib sees this one as the true standout. The clash of styles, undefeated records, and the buzz surrounding the bout make it feel monumental. He clearly respects Ilia's skills, but still believes Islam's discipline and years of dedication give him the upper hand.
But then there's also people that say the Ilia Topuria and the Islam fight is the biggest fight you can make.
I think right now, I think Topuria Islam can be biggest fight, not John Jones and Pereira.
Still a big fight, but not at the level.
It's still big fight, but not on that level.
No, not on that level.
I don't think it's same level.
Once Khabib shared his take on Islam and Ilia, Chael Sonnen quickly joined the conversation. Picking up where Khabib left off, Chael started connecting the dots, noting that even though the White House event hasn't been officially confirmed, the excitement surrounding it is undeniable. He highlighted that, among all the potential matchups, like John Jones versus Pereira or Khamzat versus Bo Nickel, the Islam versus Ilia fight really stands out.
And Ariel said to me, what do you think they're going to do? And I go, well,
You know, what the bigger fights are, what the biggest fight is that they're working on, what they are currently working. There's changes, right? There's changes week to week. But the answer to the question for right now, and what I told Ariel, is Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. That is the fight that is tentatively penciled in. Now, Chimaev and Bo Nickel, by the way, you tell me what you want about that right now. I'm telling you, by that time is a potential. And then, of course, you've got the John Jones, Alex Pierre.
Chael moved into some comparisons. He mentioned Khabib's view that Islam versus Ilia might be even bigger than John Jones versus Pereira. While Chael didn't completely agree, he didn't reject the idea either. He noted that the fight is close enough that a decisive win from either competitor could swing the perception entirely.
Islam versus Ilia is. Okay. He's not right, but he's not wrong by much. So, you know, what would put you over that hump? Well, one of them fighting. I mean, quite simply, Islam having a great performance at Madison Square Garden, becoming, I guess, what we would look at as champ, not technically champ, but what we would view as champ. That would add to it. Ilia is supposedly doing something on Paramount in a couple of months. Let's say that goes well. You know, the fight right now of Ilia Islam versus Jones Pierre, it's a close enough battle in terms of you're just trying to predict what the bigger fight is. It's a close enough battle that if you threw a little fuel on one of those fights, it would take the lead.
Where Chael really shined was when he discussed how the fight could actually come together. He suggested that Khabib and his team might be too focused on weight classes and titles rather than the bigger picture. Chael hinted that the most strategic move might be to make the bout at 170 pounds.
If Islam and Ilia fight, the question becomes, whose belt are we fighting over? And they want Khabib, they want to come down to 155. That's the part, they get that out of their head. Build into this, all you want is the fight, right? It doesn't matter whose belt. You just want to beat the other guy and have that for your legacy. The story is bigger because if we do it at 170, you now have the opportunity for the first ever champ.
When Javier Mendez was asked about the possibility of Islam facing Ilia, he explained that Islam isn't interested in moving between divisions just for the sake of it, especially not up to middleweight. He emphasized that Islam's current focus is firmly on the 170-pound division.
He's a small 170, so to go even consider 185, he'd have to be walking around, 210, 215, and he's walking around 190. So I think that's going to be, ridiculous to even consider him going to 185. So I'm just seeing you asking this question because everybody does, so I'm just answering the question already that we're not looking at 185. I seriously doubt he is also. He's only looking at 170 and then the White House card, if it can happen.
When the discussion shifted to how Ilia might handle moving up in weight, Javier gave a clear and honest perspective. He noted Ilia's strength and explosiveness, but pointed out that his frame is still smaller compared to Islam's. There was a quiet confidence in his tone, not arrogance. Just the sense that they've carefully considered how the fight could unfold. He also mentioned that putting on extra weight might slow Ilia down, which could give Islam an edge.
Ilia Topuria moving up to welterweight to fight him in that weight class. How drastically does that change what the fight would look like between him and Islam, in your opinion?
Well, I think, in my opinion, it favors us even more so, because now Ilia, he's 5'6", right? 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
So he's definitely, he's going to be strong as a fire plug for darn sure. But, putting on that extra weight, I don't know. His speed isn't going to be there.
Javier also hinted that Islam and his team are already prepared for a fight. Like to sit wouldn't be anything unexpected for them. He explained that Islam has been targeting the welterweight division for some time, and the timing simply lined up when other potential matchups. didn't materialize.
Let's see. But regardless, we were ready to fight him back then if we had to. But the bottom line is, he wanted that welterweight title, so he was waiting to find out what was going to happen between Bilal, and Jack. So when Bilal lost, that was the opportunity he wanted, because we had discussed way before that we even knew who, Ili was going to,
Bilal Muhammad stepped in with a precise prediction and didn't mince words. He praised Ilia Topuria's finish over Charles Oliveira, noting it was impressive not just for the knockout itself, but because Ilia had anticipated it and executed perfectly. However,
Oliveira, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to go with. I don't know if it's vision problem or honestly, I'm going to say I think he's like blind or just has really bad vision, because every single one of those fights, he has to move forward. He has to be in your face. And you don't want to be in Topuria's face, who has shorter arms, who has heavier punches than him. I think he should have played it longer. And if you were going to be on the inside, you had to grapple. He initiated the grappling. He tried the grapple. I know he played bottom a little bit, but when Topuria let him up, it should have been back to grappling, playing that game, getting out of the round. You got to feel for his strength. Topuria did a beautiful job of slipping that cross and just reading him. He knew the jab cross hook was going to come. Oliveira is very simple with his...
highlighted that. While Topuria displayed solid takedown defense and awareness on the ground against Oliveira, facing Islam, Makhachev presents an entirely different challenge. He suggested that Islam wouldn't just attempt to take down once or twice, he would keep the pressure constant.
I mean, he looked great. For me, when I look at that matchup and I break it down, I think Islam is very good with defense and with distance. If he's close, he's grappling. He's not staying in that brawling zone that Topuria loves. If he's within grabbing your range, he's grabbing you. And I don't care if Topuria is able to defend the first or second takedown. Islam's going to keep you there. He's going to push you on the cage. If I'm in Islam's corner, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping him there, especially for the first, second, third round, trying to initiate that takedown. Oliveira got the body lock pretty early. Islam is really good there with the trips, with the body locks, with the single legs there. I think he would have continued grappling there, and it would have been a lot more interesting. It would have definitely got past the first round, and we would have seen how Topuria held up. He didn't really need to show his cardio. That one's a fun one, man.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.